Oh, sorry, Chuck.
We got Chuck in the 1C starter in 2, Walters in 3, James in 4. All drivers racing in through the Dunlop. All done straight. Truck starting to get a little foot on.
What's going on, everybody? Walter with the RC Addiction Vlog, guys. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the RC Vlog. Guys, today we are doing a little race recap. It's early Sunday morning. We're getting ready to kind of break our cars down after our club race yesterday up at EBRC. We decided to make a trip up there this Saturday to do his club race. Just give ourselves a little bit something different to race before our big anniversary race next weekend. And let me tell you guys, it's a lot of fun going up to Rick's place. I know the track size may not be as big as what we're used to racing, but that doesn't take away from the fact that the racing is still competitive. Actually, really competitive. It actually makes it a little bit more tricky when the track is that small, just compared to what we're used to. You know, we're used to such a big track. So it was really fun. I raced 17.5 stock buggy and stadium truck and had a blast in both. My buggy results were not good. I ended up struggling my first heat based on tire choice and just what I had going on. It didn't work at all. Second heat, put some fuzz bites on, did a lot better, but just didn't have the pace as far as knowing the track. Some of their local club racers were much faster, just being the fact that they've been on that layout for a little bit longer than we have or had more laps on it. So, but congrats to those guys in stock buggy. You guys killed it. You guys were super fast. Stadium truck though, I felt a lot better. I ended up getting a podium and taking third in stadium truck, which I've just been feeling the heat right now in the stadium truck. I've been driving that thing really well. It's been good. So that's kind of our little race recap, if you will, of that. It was kind of fun. My wife Steph got to be able to come with me to one of my races, which I always enjoy when she gets to come with me and enjoy watching me in the hobby and what I like doing. But now that we're all done with up at Rick's this weekend, it's time to really get our cars dialed in. And one of the things that I did up at Rick's yesterday to help get me maybe a little further ahead in my buggy was I finally retired my Reedy SP5 motor. It was a used motor that I bought when I originally got into stock buggy racing a few years ago, and it was time to retire it. We made the final decision that it was time to upgrade. We got brand new motors in all of our other cars. We've just, for whatever reason, have kept thinking that Reedy SP5 was a good motor, and it was still, you know, making power, but it definitely wasn't. It was definitely, I don't know if the rotor was wore out or what was wore out in that thing. I didn't really take it apart to see, but we ended up gluing in a new R1 Works 17.5 motor, team motor, and Rick, actually, because he's sponsored by R1, ended up being able to get us a really good deal on a new motor. And I was excited. I had to laugh because I ended up deciding to glue it in for my main event. I was in the B main and buggy, and I thought, well, you know what? What's the worst that can happen? Let's glue a new motor in. And I had to laugh because Steve Sarver was sitting next to me, and he was just like, "What do you mean you got to put a new motor in the middle of the race?" I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, I'm not just gonna let it sit here on my workbench. I might as well glue the motor in and see what she's like, you know." He's like, "Well, man, how are you going to test that thing?" I'm like, "What do you mean test it? This is the test." Like, racing can be some of the best testing in our industry or in RC racing, because it puts you in the race condition. Gives you the chance to really put down or see what your equipment's made of, puts you in an adverse situation that you may have to try and figure out. So, yeah, it was kind of funny. I had to laugh. He was a little nervous for me putting my new motor in, but it was totally fine. My gearing worked great. I actually had pace in my B main, and if I probably would have had another couple seconds and maybe few less mistakes, I might have been able to catch Steve to bump to the A. But anyways, that's not what it was about. It was about that 17.5 R1 motor that we glued in. It's a ripper, guys, like absolute ripper. It had a hand-picked rotor in it from the R1 team, and I'll tell you what, it's the goods. I'm pretty excited about that thing. So, but in other news, we got to get our cars tore down. We ended up having to run fuzz bites, full sets of fuzz bites up at Rick's track when he's got the CRC black carpet. And at Poor Boys, we don't have that, so we end up usually having to run some sort of pin tire at Poor Boys, and then we realized about halfway through the day that we needed to switch to fuzz bites up at Rick's, and that made a dramatic difference too as far as pace goes. So that part was pretty cool. Rick's is a lot of fun, guys. I love going up to Rick's. I love what Rick offers to everybody and all the racers. The atmosphere is really good. There's tons of kids there. So if you guys have a kid or a young boy or girl that is wanting to get into RC, there's definitely a good younger crowd at Rick's that allows the kids to have some friends and be able to really learn the RC hobby together, which is kind of cool. And then of course he always offers lunch. We need hot dogs, chips, and sodas, dude. I mean, you can't beat that when you're at the track with a couple of ballpark franks and a soda and a cold Pepsi. Woo, that's pretty sweet. So just wanted to jump on here today, guys. Give you guys a huge thank you, Rick and your wife. Thank you guys so much for putting on an awesome club racing day for all of us Poor Boys club racers that traveled up. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to Chuck. Chuck, I'm coming for you, buddy. You are like my nemesis right now when it comes to stuff, but it's been good. We race good together, so thank you. We appreciate all the camaraderie. I really do. It has made racing in the last couple months really, really fun, and I know that it's only going to get faster. So yeah, if there's anything else you guys are looking for from the channel, please let me know. Shoot me a comment, DM, email, whatever you need. I'm here for you. We appreciate you guys watching. I threw in a couple of clips of yesterday's racing just so you guys got an idea of what Rick's place looks like, and just a couple of pictures of the pit area. And I'll tell you what, he keeps that hobby shop stocked with good race parts. Had no issues yesterday buying tires, had no issues buying anything I needed, really. There wasn't much, but what we needed he had, so that was pretty sweet. We don't always get that, and so when we do, we sometimes have to take advantage of it. But other than that, guys, we appreciate you guys watching, and until next time, we will see you guys then.
Uh-huh.